We have a major update as Ayo Dosunmu is out for the year. We're going to be talking about how this will impact the Chicago Bulls and how they will move forward this season. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe, and you have found yourself on another episode of Bulls Digest. And so, the latest news around the Chicago Bulls is Ayo Dosunmu is going to be out. It looks like he is getting a season-ending surgery on his shoulder, which means that we are going to have some players step up. And quite frankly, this means that Billy Donovan is going to have to get into his coaching bag. And so, before we go ahead and jump into the content for today, wanted to remind you that 71.9% of you that watch are not subscribed to the channel. So make sure you go ahead and you slam dunk on that subscribe button for us, as it means a lot to us as we try to reach our end of the season subscriber goal. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the content for today and talking about Ayo Dosunmu. And now he is going to be out for the season. And so this is the tweet that is out there. It says that, look, after experiencing left shoulder instability and further evaluation from the training and medical professions, Ayo Dosunmu will undergo surgery and be out for the remainder of the season. And so let's talk about the impact of Ayo Dosunmu. And so, look, I said this in the last post game. I thought that he was certainly an MVP for me. You could tell that he was definitely dealing with the issues with the shoulder, and he gutted it out. In that game, he had 11 points. He had 5 rebounds. He had 2 assists. He had a steal. He was +9. He was 5 of 9 from the field in 23 minutes. And that is why we love Ayo Dosunmu. I mean, he just shows such heart. And look, he's a guy that is willing to defend whoever you need him to defend. And then offensively, even if he's struggling, he finds ways to figure it out. And so talking about some of the things that he's done this season, even though his season got cut short, I think that there's still a lot of positives to take out of this. And let's start with the fact that, look, he is playing some more minutes, because when we throw up his numbers and take a look, you can see that he's taken on just a slight intake in minutes. And I think that those minutes really would have gone up some more had he been out there. I know he missed due to the calf and then the shoulder recently. And I think that with what's going on with the Chicago Bulls and the injuries that we've had in the front court, I could see where he probably could have got some more minutes. But you see that his minutes are up to 30.3 minutes a game, up from 29.1. So he's taking on a little bit more responsibility and playing time. And then next, you know, when you look at what he had to do defensively, we knew that he was one of the better defenders on the team, and he's had to take on some tougher assignments. And I think that that's also put him into situations where he's had to rebound more, and he's responded well, because his rebounds are also up this season, 3.5 up from 2.8 rebounds. And so that is great to see that Ayo Dosunmu is a willing rebounder, and that's what we love about him. He's just willing to do whatever it takes to get this team to the win. And then, look, he's gotten, I think, even better just as far as distributing the basketball and making those decisions in kind of a point guard situation, because he's up to 4.5 assists a game. That's up from 3.2 a season ago. And remember, the offense has changed, and so he's had to take on a little bit more of a decision-making responsibility, it looks like, in this particular season, and he's responding well. I think that he's done a great job as far as getting into certain pockets in the defense, creating angles, and finding teammates. And so you have to give him a lot of credit there. And then as far as scoring the basketball, look, I know it wasn't a huge uptake in scoring, and I think maybe, you know, it could have gotten a little bit better, especially down the stretch here with the minutes that are available and the offensive opportunities that are available, especially with the way that Josh Giddey's playing as far as distributing the basketball. You know, I think that Ayo definitely had a chance to maybe increase his scoring output. But even in a down year as far as shooting the basketball, he still has a slight uptake in his scoring to 12.3, up from 12.2. Yes, I know it's not a huge increase, but at the end of the day, you have to look at it and say, hey, are we getting better? Even if it's in a small matter, he is getting better. So you do like that. And like I said, that's coming on a challenging year, because he only shot 32.8% from 3. He didn't get a chance to really increase that. That's down from 40.3 a season ago. We talked about him having a slow start, but still he's able to still impact the game. And then when you look at his field goal percentage, it was slightly down a little bit, down to 49.2, down from 50.1. and he was still able to, again, impact the game. And so you have got to give Ayo Dosunmu a lot of credit. And then when you look at his games started and games played, look, this is unfortunate. It's going to be the least amount of games that he's played with the Chicago Bulls at 46. But you see how many games he's had to start over his career, 40, 51, 37, and then 26. And again, that is in an injured year here in the fourth year. But still, you just love the fact that Ayo has really had to adjust and go back and forth, and he's made things happen. And I think he's certainly shown us, that he can be a player that the Chicago Bulls should be building with. Like, he should definitely be, in those plans as this team moves forward, because he's definitely a player that I think can help this team turn it around eventually. I do feel like he is going to be one of those players that just really helps us continue to get an identity. And so, with that being said, quickly, I want to look at the film study and just, again, just put it into perspective of just how well I think that Ayo Dosunmu has played and just really what he brings to the team. You see him over here in the corner guarding. Look at the switch, right? Look at the defensive awareness. Look how he drops down into the box right there just in case it's a pass. He's back and forth between his man, and looking to just read the play, gets the steal. He's always been a one-man fast break and a finish on a bad shoulder. And so we're going to miss that. Definitely, hopefully Ayo gets well. I think it's going to be good. You protect him from himself, and I think he's going to be back stronger than ever next season. And so with that being said, that leads us to the next part here, and just what are the Chicago Bulls going to do? Because remember, Billy Donovan has made it clear that this team wants to compete. They very much want to still play after the season is over. And I think that now that Ayo Dosunmu is down, I think that this is going to force Billy Donovan to have to get into his coaching bag, and he's going to have to play some players that, I think really need to be really need to play. They need to get some minutes. I think that this is going to help them as far as their evaluation and as far as just seeing what this team has. And I think that it's going to come down to more minutes to Dalen, Terry, and Julian Phillips. I think that both of those players really, they have got to get an opportunity to play some more. And so, I want to start with Julian Phillips. Look, in the Knicks game, he had 12 points, he had 6 rebounds, he had a steal, he was +7, 23 minutes, 2 of 3 from 3, and he was 3 of 5 from the field. And so look, Julian Phillips continues to really show us what he can do athletically. I think that he's also shown us that he can be a player that can certainly just knock down the 3 ball as well. And then also too, he shows you his defensive range as well. And I think at times he's played very well. It's just that the minutes have been so up and down. And I just think that this is the time where Billy Donovan just really has to utilize him, and then also to Dalen Terry. And so, it's been unfortunate with the injuries, but I think in a lot of ways it really has made Billy Donovan make the adjustments that maybe we've wanted to see even when this team was healthy. Some of the things he's doing defensively with the 2-3 zone and now throwing these players out there. And so, look, I think that there's a real opportunity for Julian Phillips to step up here. I think he's going to show you that he can knock down the 3 ball, and I think he's going to show you that he can play some outstanding defense. And I think that between both of these players, whether it's Dalen Terry or Julian Phillips, I continue to keep saying this, you're not going to get the best out of them by just practice or sending them down to the G League. The only way you see what you have with these players and for them to get better is you need to put them into actual game experience, and you need to see what happens when they have to guard a Kawhi Leonard, what happens when they have to guard Tyrese Halliburton and all these other players like that. You want to see what the response is. You want to see exactly what you have, because I think that both of these players at time have shown us that, look, maybe they can be, pieces that you do have on this team that do help you with your roster build. Because I think that when you're talking about identity and you're talking about trying to get to the next level, especially defensively, I think that both of these players can do that. And when you look at Dalen Terry, look, one of his better games was against the Sixers. I know it was against the Sixers, but still 17 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, +12. He was 6 of 8 from the field in that one, 5 of 5 from the free throw line in 21 minutes. And so I think Billy Donovan certainly needs to increase the numbers on both of these players as far as just the minutes in the game. But we'll see what happens, because we know that Billy Donovan, look, he loves to play a lot of his starters, and he likes to rely a lot on the veterans. And so don't be surprised if Billy Donovan wants to do so. We just took a look here briefly at the quote that he had said, I think just after this last game, talking about just competing and, how it's a short window and everything else. And so I completely understand that. But this is where the Chicago Bulls have got to take advantage of also to player evaluation, because bottom line, we want this team to get out of just being in a play-in situation. I want to see this team get back to being a contender, not just merely qualifying for the playoffs, but a literally contending again, like we can possibly get out of the Eastern Conference. And the only way you do that is you got to see exactly what you have with these players. You got to put them into some situations. And I'm not saying that you just throw Julian Phillips and Dalen out there in the clutch time. I'm not saying that, but there is a way that you can stagger minutes to where they can get a lot of minutes, especially if we're in games and we're competitive. Let these guys play. Let's see what they have, much like you just are seeing what Zach Collins can do. And I think you have a little bit more comfort now moving off of Vooch here this summer. Now you can see, hey, we have some players that can be some role players, and we know that yes, if there's a moment where they have to step in and start, they can do so, or they need to play more minutes, we can rely on that. You got to find that out. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think here about this recent injury update around Ayo Dosunmu. Do you think that Julian Phillips and Dalen should be getting some more minutes? Or do you think, no, they should not be getting more minutes? I guess Billy Donovan should play Javon Carter more. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you're thinking. I'll see you guys on the post game. And as we always say, go Bulls. I will see you on the next one. All right, peace.